Hello, everyone, and how are you today? Let's plan week one in our travel album. So, I have my Disney album here. I do have a few pages, my cover page, and some opening pages, a summary page of the entire trip, a title page for the Disneyland part of the trip. And I have this box here where I put just a range of items that I thought would work well for this trip. I have some of these journal cards, some Mickey and Minnie, a set. I can link these down below for you. And so I just wanted to have everything that I thought from my stash I would coordinate well with the Disney colors and themes. I have these ephemera from our trip, lanyards that we got from our first visit, this craft that my son made, as well as things from Week in the Life, various kits where I thought the colors worked well. And I also have these stamps as well, some Disneyland stamps that I thought would work well. So I pulled the journal cards from last year's collection. I thought the colors would work so well for a Disney trip. And I also put together this layout here, but I just didn't finalize it. But I also have some of these papers, vellum, specialty papers from last year. These 10 by 8 papers from a previous collection that are so pretty and I really want to use them. And then everything from last year's collection I have on the side. So I have everything here set up on my desk and ready to work with. Those die cuts will be so cute in this album. I have the alphas stamped, so this is just me keeping everything because I knew this was going to be a big album and I wanted to all flow nicely. So I'm taking this layout that I did out of the box. I have these 6 by 8 papers which came with the collection that I want to use. The prompts especially for main parts of the album. And then for this one, I pulled out the nice geotag, felt geotag, which I love. This paper that I love as well. And just wanting to do a kind of 4x6 or 4x6 layout. So I printed all these photos from our first weekend on the trip, which is where we went to Upland. We went to the Paige Evans. I went to the Paige Evans Christmas workshop at Prangasia Studio. My family, they came along and, they played in the playground and just relaxed because it was our first few days of the trip and needing to get used to the time zone. So this is what I had in mind for it. Just keeping it nice and clean. These die cuts and the geotag and then pop in those photos below. I'm not sure if I want to do like some flip outs or accordions, but that's the general idea that I'd set up and I just didn't finalize exactly how I want to format or lay those photos up. So I'm using my story planner because I want to plan the first week of the trip, which is our week at Disney. So following this layout here, which was the first weekend, we drove straight across to Disneyland and spent the next 5 days there. So it's important for me before I start to just have just a mini idea of what I'd like to happen for the trip, the album, and I'm going through my photos from day one of the trip. So I'm going to categorize these photos by some of the main themes that are coming out. So our arrival there on the first day, we have some photos at Starbucks. We have some photos of our going down to Main Street in Disneyland, and that's where we did the craft. we went to the gift shop, and then we did quite a few things. That day we went back in the night. So I'm just going through the photos and pulling those main themes out. So then going through our night photos, I feel like I want that one to be the main photo for that day, or even this one could be the main photo for that day because it just represents our arrival to Disneyland. And so I'm just jotting that down. I love a full page photo moment, and I also love this prompt paper from the collection. So I don't have a whole lot of photos from that day because we had just arrived and we were just on Main Street that first, afternoon, evening. So I feel like this prompt will be perfect for that because I can just pull out some of my favorite photos and then just go through and add those circles in. So simply going through my camera reel and trying to see which ones are my favorite and make sure that that's enough for me. I'm also going through the other prompt papers to see because I love this label one. I think these will all be beautiful. And so I'm looking at my day 2 now, and I'm thinking that this circle would be nice to have a photo with us. We did the arrival photo at the front of Disneyland with the Mickey in flowers. So I thought that would be cute for that inside that circle. And then on the right hand side, I can do the labels. I'm looking at this to see how it will work in my album as a 7-inch album. And I feel like I may keep it for when I am working on a 10x8. Like I'm looking at some of the papers and these journal cards, for example, and I'm thinking that I definitely need to do a 10x8 travel album because that would be so cute. Yeah, I was just thinking about our upcoming trip and whether I want to do a 7x8 or a 10x8. So we'll see how we go. I might just have to do a 10x8 and mix in this current collection and last year's. So going through the prompts, I like those two with the 5 labels and the circle on the left. And then I'll sandwich some photos in between that and page protectors with some transparent elements as well, just to keep it fluid, that's the front and that's the back, but could still see through the photos and things in between. So then I am opening up this pile, which is some really, really cute photos. It's just I've never done a 10x8 travel album before, so I was just keeping it for that day. And then I love that, and I was thinking it will work really well because this one I could actually cut down, and that it will work well for just a filler page in my album. But because the filler pages that I have currently are on that left-hand side, the holes would just punch into them, which I don't particularly feel comfortable with. So I'll save that for the right-hand side of the page. Then I'm just going through to see what else I can use as filler pages, and there are quite a few nice ones that I can put in there. This blue will be nice for a night Disney moment. This would be nice because we were in California, and so I was gonna just use that one, for the first filler there because we have the departures at the airport and we're flying over to the US, so that will be perfect for there. And then coming in with another filler page that I like would be this is nice for 10x8, and this is just nice. That could actually work as a filler for that left hand side. I never want to stop making memories with you. That would be cute. And then just going through to make use of my stash as well. When I'm doing albums like this, I wanna, use the products. So I like that one. That one looks nice. Even though now that I'm looking at it again, I think the one with the quote, I never want to stop making memories with you, is a perfect opening for it. So just looking at these and just checking to see what could work in this particular project. And so I have selected this for now, but I think I'm gonna swap it out because it is a bit busy next to that page on the right hand side. So now I'm just flipping through and I'm gonna just pop in these papers that I liked and that I've set aside. And once I have popped these on, it's just to kind of mark the pages so that I can also, when I'm working through the album, remember what I want for each one. So again, going into my phone and looking at the photos for the day, and I am definitely going to just continue searching for the main themes or the main activities of the day. So for example, we did Jesse's carousel. We did we went to Little Mermaid in the night. And I'm seeing that underwater thing. I think I was Buzz Lightyear. So those were some of the main activities that day. We would always we go to the carousel every day with my son because he loves horses. And then just making sure that I see, the main photos and just pull those out because that'll give me an idea of how many pages I'll be creating for each day. And I don't want it to be exhaustive, but I also want to have fun with it. So this general plan is going to help me to just get an idea of how much is expected of me for each day of this travel album. So just flicking through and slowly pulling those out because I want to I have 5 themes or major themes here for this day, and I have the label prompt paper which has 5 blocks. So already I'm thinking what I can use for a title for that page, whether I put journaling or little bits of photos on that side as well. It could be cute. So I am brainstorming while I do this plan, just a general plan for week 1, which will guide me as I go through the actual creating of the pages this week. So I'm loving how it's going so far. It's helping me to just in my mind mull over what I'd like to do for this week of the album. It's helping me to break the tasks down into doable tasks and not see the album as a big mountainous type of project. It's really helping me to just not be overwhelmed, but to really lock in and enjoy creating. So I love this photo for the main photo for that day. And then I'm going through again. I didn't take too many photos on this day. I do have just some key images. I'm seeing Little Mermaid here. I feel like whenever I see the reds and the blues, I immediately think it's a Little Mermaid. I think previously that was It's a Small World. It's a Small World inside that dark, was for the previous day. So, those are the things that are gonna come out for me. I love this photo, stood out to me. So I'm just making sure that I jot those down. And then when I finish doing this process here, I'm gonna pull those up on my Canva and then I begin to create the digital components of the layout. I feel like that label paper is really nice just to add in some bits and pieces, elements. Even some of the horizontal photos would look really lovely there. So just looking at that and looking to see what's left of the papers from that year's collection. It looks like I might pull out some journal cards. I really need to use the Disney ones, even though we are going back to Disney this year. So I'm just, feeling like I need to use them up, but I could probably save some as well. So I'm just going through and seeing what will fit in well for this project. I really love journal cards, and I think they'd be super cute for filling in with the photos, because I want to use some of the 3x4 and 4x6 page protectors for this. So going through and pulling out what can and can't, what I think can and can't be used for this type of trip. Those I'll save for like Chicago. These, I'll save for Chicago as well. And this one as well for Chicago, because my husband running the Chicago Marathon, so far and wide and all those things will be really fitting for that. And then just pulling those apart. Ready, Set, Go will be perfect for a marathon. This black one as well. So those will work well for the city parts of the holiday, but these will work well for the Disneyland part of the holiday. So just kind of wrapping it up and bringing it all together. I love that fun tag booklet as well. So that would be perfect for that. And going through my photos again for day 4 and finalizing which ones I would like to highlight. And also going through just kind of, picking out the photo for the day. Day 4 was a princess brunch. So I was all dressed up. We had such a great time with the princess brunch. I immediately remember that I like this pink kind of beigey grid, and that would be nice and light, airy, light and airy and perfect for that. And then after the princess brunch, I didn't take too many other photos of that day. We were again on the carousel, and I really want to highlight that in the album because my son was obsessed with horses back then, and so we did the carousel ride so many times. That was definitely we did it every day, a few times a day. So that was probably the highlight of our trip to him. And so just looking at day 5, we did a Star Wars theme day. That was for my husband, because the day before I did princesses for me. So we did Olga's Cantina. We had lots of photos throughout that whole Galaxy Land area. And then after we did that area, we went on the train around Disneyland, and then we also saw the parade. When we were leaving, we ended up getting a front row reserved seat for the parade because my son was falling asleep and we were trying to leave to take him home for his nap. But then they were already cordoning off the area, and we were asked if we wanted to just sit in the reserve section. And we were like, okay, sure. So I'm thinking this may not be enough, but this one, which I have from leftover from last year, or I think this was the year before actually, but I feel like I could cover up some of the icons, but leave some of the icons that are relevant to our trip. So this is what I'm thinking for day 5, another upgrade, which is perfect when you have lots of photos to document, but you don't necessarily want to have it, as a big photos, big photos for each one. Some of them could be small, and I like the grid there as a backup for that. And so, this is coming out to the end of my planning process. I just want to dive right in. I don't want to spend any more time planning. I just want to get in and start creating these pages. So I'm going to do that, and I hope to see you in the next video.